Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm back.
Yes, you are. Look who's back. Back again. And it's the Hump Day Happy Hour Salute. And we're all out of balance today.
Back.
The back
That's a weird looking green.
We are all out.
Well, I'm gonna shout out who's here.
There you go.
All right, we got the lovely Lori's in the house. How's it going? Marvelous Michael, Super Sam, and Marvelous Michael, but Sanborn.
There we go. Sorry about that, people. We had only one shot, believe it or not. We had Springbrook Bourbon, and then Mr-Magazine gave us a chaser of hot water instead of cold water. And it's just been, we were trying to get stuff printed out on stamps, and we were having problems over there that we'll tell you about. And it's just been one of them days.
And we got Lucky Lee's in the house as well, and nice and early here.
Oh, nice. Celebrating homemade pizza. Ooh.
You can't get much better than that.
Cheap beer. Nice.
Yep, Cheetos and something for all my friends. You know what I'm saying.
So, all righty. And why don't we start it out like we always do with how are sales?
Okay. Down about 15% on eBay and Amazon. The adult stuff's pretty strong, but, we're hanging in there. We got enough going on, so we're doing okay.
All righty. And a slow start to the show. People are slower than usual. People coming in.
Yeah, we're slow. You're slow. It's one of those.
It's one of those days. It really
eBay's slow. Amazon's slow. Everyone's slow.
I know that friend of the channel, subscriber Radio Parts, reached out and he was saying he had a really, really bad night. And I've been hearing a lot of people have been having slow times over on eBay. I'm actually having really, really good days.
Oh,
I'm doing really good.
All right.
Amazon's okay. I'll give you a quick rundown elsewhere, and then we'll talk about my eBay sales. One item on $1 Million Peddlers, one item on Vivs-Views, one item on Etsy. Etsy is completely dead right now, and actually made my first sales, which I'll tell you about in a little bit as well, on Papergoy.com.
Oh, nice.
But eBay, I've had a lot of international sales, which is helping me considerably.
Me too.
Yeah.
Triple J's in the house. What's going on?
So international sales are way up, and I don't usually get multi orders. I don't usually get people buying multi.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten a number of people this last week buying 3, 4, 5 items from me, which doesn't happen generally speaking. They usually only find one, and that's it. Had multiple people buying multiple items. And that
take advantage
helps.
of free shipping.
Probably. I don't know what it is they're doing, but it really does help a lot.
Oh, we got awesome Eric's in the house, and my good buddy Aaron's in the house. He's my main driver, traveling all over the country for me. So glad you're in there. Oh, you can watch replays of Jeopardy. Just watch what's that? Groundhog Day. There you go. Nice Nova's in the house as well. All right. Hey, back at you.
Head over to the offers report really quickly. 49 old out of 157 total. Last week, I had 158 offers I could make. So traffic is about the same week in, week out.
I think I'm a little light on that stuff.
Week 2 has been slow, up 88% compared to last April. Oh, wow. That's really good. And then 25 promoted out of 48 sales last week. So, again, about 50% charge me promoted fees. 50% of the items they charge me promoted fees on. So the excuse of the week, of course, it was Easter last week, and everybody was coming back from spring break and Easter break and wherever they were.
The driving was horrid from Myrtle Beach back home. 3 states, torrential downpour. It took me 16 hours to drive 13 hours. Should have been 13, took 16.
Right.
So, but we made it home.
Wow. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
We did make it home. Jazzy Jeff's in the house. How's it going?
Couple of things there. Yeah. So I finally sold stuff over on Papergoy.com, and first item I sold was a Rolling Stone magazine. And I said, okay, cool. And then I looked, and it didn't end on eBay, which I pay of service to end it over on eBay. So I said, what the heck is going on? So then I started looking, and I couldn't find it. Now, luckily, I knew the box that it would be in because that's where all the Rolling Stones were at.
Yeah.
and it wasn't in there. So I went back downstairs, and then I did a search on my listings, and shout out to eBay. They now let you go back 2 years to see your sales. And sure enough, I sold it back in January.
Wow,
so I reached out to the company that does that, and they're like, oh, you have to update your token. We told you that. And I'm like,
so go back 2 years?
Oh, no. You know how your tokens expire?
Yeah.
The token had expired. They're telling me that they had told me to update the token. Now, given that it's it's hello@papergoy.com, where I get very little email, so I check all of it.
Yeah.
Like, no, if you had told me to update the token, I would have updated the token. You never told me to update the token. So then I went and did that, and now it's okay. But that's always something that you have to look out for as well, because what was happening is the new stuff wasn't going over there. The old stuff was not ending.
Crazy.
They did a master run and took care of all that for me. And then a subscriber bought 4 items off me over on papergoy.com. They're well on the way, priority, and hopefully he enjoys them. So I do appreciate that as well.
We're going to say Money Mike is in the house because I read this ahead of time.
Vintage Boy Scout sash with merit badges for 15 sold eBay. Whoa, $5,000.
That's huge.
Wow, those must have been some super rare. Must have been real.
I called it an Orlando deal, right? He probably would have paid $1, but hey, $1.15, what's the difference, right? You know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about. Anybody who doesn't know, Mr-Magazine goes over on Instagram to follow Pure Hustle Podcast. And
I do.
Orlando
jealous,
makes a lot of interesting sales over there. Can't get no satisfaction.
Welcome to my,
but I try,
my private life.
And I try. Easter weekend was scary slow for us to the point I double checked to see if eBay was working. That a lot of people do that a lot of times. I've had that happen. That happened to me. Actually, it's funny you say that. That happened to me on Amazon because I'd gone like 36 hours without a sale, and I'm like, did I get suspended? What happened? And I'm searching. I'm like, my items are all still up there. What is going on?
It reminds me of my wife when she's in the bedroom. I think she's dead, and then she's just sleeping.
Nice.
You know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't want to know what you're talking about. I like 3+7 shipping offer. When it works, they buy 6+ items. Yeah, cool. and I do enjoy selling a lot of items to one person. One merit badge in particular, Pigeon Racing merit badge.
Wow.
For $5,000, you throw the rest
How
of them.
How old was it? It must have been old.
It has to be old,
vintage. Yeah.
Or, I don't know a lot about Boy Scouts. It could be one of those things that it was a very short period of time that they would have the merit badge for you.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, it's probably hard raising a pigeon anyways. I mean, I couldn't do it.
No, he beats me every time. He goes over the house. I got to climb. How about buys? Have you bought anything since you came back? Anybody else ever buy anything?
Oh, I got deals in the works. Aaron's driving around the country for me. He's going to your sister's house. Usually I go to his sister's house on the weekends, but now Aaron's going to pick up some boxes.
You are in a feisty mood today.
I got to make up for 2 weeks. I think he's going somewhere in New York, somewhere in Indiana. I don't know, but we're picking up. There actually is, Aaron, there's a possible 4th deal in the works, but I don't know if it's worth going out of the way, but we'll talk this week on it. Other than that, some toys here and there, nothing crazy. I'm glad I could build up a few bucks in my account because I've been shelling it out like crazy. So, how about you?
Oh, I'm glad you asked.
No, it's about time. It's my first time I've ever asked, I think.
So I went to estate sales on Thursday because they were very, very close to where I was working at. And the one sale looked really good. A lot of old books from the pictures. I get there, and there are old books, $5 a piece. From the 1800s primarily, but they're mostly all like either school books or religious books they're not worth $5 a piece. I mean, I could sell them for 15 to 20 bucks a piece, but they're going to be slow sellers. I mean, maybe I could get 25 out of one of them, but I'm not going to put $5 into them because they're not going to fly off the shelf.
Right.
I ended up buying one book there, which I'll be showing you in a little bit for the item of the week. Then I went to another sale. And if you don't watch our shorts over on YouTube, you definitely should. It was a Forbidden Planet paperback. Right up on the paperbacks. I saw it. I picked it up. The movie with Robbie the Robot?
Yeah.
1956, I believe it is. Paid $0.25 for it. It's an $80 book.
Oh, nice.
Which is not bad at all for a paperback. And then they had a bunch of newspapers out in the garage. And I'm like, let me grab these. So I grabbed them, $20 for the pile. One is up for auction right now at $198.50 with Marilyn Monroe on the cover.
Whoa,
from a
nice.
1961 newspaper supplement magazine.
Cool.
So quite happy with that. Mike Tyson could kept his, I'm sure he could.
No, we know Rocky couldn't. So.
And Mr. Mr. Bugatti, you can catch him with
Miyagi, yes. Yeah. I thought you were talking about Mr. Bugatti, who obviously started the Bugatti automobile company.
He could as well catch him with chopsticks.
I'm sure he could. Or with his car, just run him over with his 800 horsepower vehicles.
But then I went to a sale Friday at lunch.
I got a question.
Yes.
Is Dawn here?
No, she's recuperating from.
Oh. It'll be a few weeks since we talked. All right. Okay.
That's true.
All right.
That's true. But I went Friday at lunch, but I was in a hurry. Robot, like the Michelin Man. Yes, he does. Then I went Friday right after work because we were going to go out to dinner, and it was near where we were going out to dinner. But then, of course, you're rushed because I get off work at 3. I got there at 3:15. It closes at 4. So it was kind of rushed.
Yeah. And
then I went back Saturday. Ended up spending for myself $350 or thereabouts.
Cool.
Something other like that.
Yeah.
Did pick up a something that we would have used as item of the week, except it's not family oriented, as Mr. Magazine is well aware. But it's definitely something to look out for out there. It was a black light poster about, what would you say it was about?
Man, like 30 by 20,
something like that.
It was an odd size, man.
It was all framed up, Wallywood art on it, Walt Disney. But let's just say that it was not family oriented. It was not officially licensed. Right. Let's say that.
Like a Tijuana Bible, but a poster version of it.
Let's say Pluto was showing his disdain on a poster of Mickey. Let's say Tinkerbell was getting a little busy in a bar. Let's just say it had a lot of interesting things going on it. Definitely something to look out for if you're out there, though. I ended up picking up for $400, nicely framed up, and sold to Mysterious Benefactor for that, at my cost. But it's about a $500 to $600 poster if you do see it out there. It's pretty neat, pretty neat little item.
Tori liked it a lot.
Oh, did
he picked it right out? Like, took me a second to figure out he knew right then what was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Online dealer made a whopping $350 for it. Reached out to others and they offered some good information. Oh, good.
That's crazy.
It could have been an insulting offer of the week in the end.
Exactly.
But yeah, a lot of different things. It was funny though, because the old man running the sale, if you got him to give you the prices, they were really cheap. If his partner was given the prices, they were a little above what they should have been. Like I was lucky enough to get the old man to give me the price on the first day on stuff. And there was a RPPC real photo postcard, 1909 basketball showing a team together with the ball. They were champions of something or other. And it was marked $15 on the back.
Yeah.
And I brought it up to the old man along with some other stuff. And he looks through the pile and he goes, $5 for the whole pile. So I'm like, can't argue with that.
Was Les Harrison on there when he was in high school?
I don't know who it was. It was, they weren't identified, but it was a really neat little postcard for, pick up for almost nothing.
All right. Brian's in the house. How's it going?
But again, it's one of those deals. I'm trying not to buy so much, but when you have an opportunity like that,
you can't pass on stuff like that yet.
No, right. And it's it's so, as I told the gentleman who was holding the sale, I said, there's 2 to 3 sales like this a year up here. When you go to it, you got to spend the money at it.
Exactly.
You definitely have to, because otherwise it's slim pickings the rest of the year. So load up on good stuff when you find it. And I think we've always said to do that. Always load up on the good stuff when you see it out there. Threw in a pile. Yep.
Well,
whoa.
Well, Zmergy's in the house.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And thank you, Zmergy. I was going to give a shout. I didn't write it down. We were so out of sorts at the beginning of the show. Did want to give a shout out to Random Neighborhood Kid. He did do a wonderful job, a yeoman's effort, as they say, last week. Good kid, good spirit, good, good job, I would say.
Absolutely, yeah.
I would say on that. Next, he'll tell you. Exactly. I don't want to know. I'll sleep in my car at that point.
Mine's pretty clean, however, in case you're wondering.
I was.
Yeah,
Although there might be some footprints on the dashboard. That's a whole nother story.
Exactly.
All right, we'll head on into Glitch of the Week. Neil Young actually bought the train. He's a big model train guy.
Oh, okay.
And he bought Lionel. back in the day. He bought Lionel.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. And see, and Matthew, that's why one of those deals, when you get the opportunity, like I had at this estate sale, even though I don't need stuff, I piled stuff up just because, again, this is not stuff that you see. And one thing that I ended up getting a really good deal on too, they had an upstairs and then they had a downstairs, and the downstairs was the lesser stuff. It was a carriage house in the back. It was a hoity-toity kind of neighborhood. They had a lot of local things, you know, how like Town of Rush 150th anniversary celebration 1963 program, all these booklets from all these different things.
Sure.
I made a pile of about 20 of them, and they go, I don't know, how's it $8? I go, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then they brought it upstairs and they gave me half price off of that. So I got it for $4. I was paying nothing.
I mean, if you don't buy that, you shouldn't be buying anything really. And that's crazy. That's what you're in it for, stuff like that.
Yeah. And again, they're slow sellers, but I can get $20 out of one.
When you sell one item, you make money right off the bat.
Make good money. Yep. Oh, wow. Yard sales. I haven't been one of those in forever, other than the guy across the street has one every year.
Oh, hold on. Dawn is in the house. Delightful Dawn. How's it going? Welcome back. Well,
just don't let it happen again, Missy.
That's right. I can't go.
Hey, you got all stern.
I can't go like 3 weeks without her. Seriously. Marvelous Matthews in the house. True that. Northern New Jersey.
All right, you're going to head on into Glitch of the Week. I saw a new glitch this week on eBay.
Was I around or no?
Yeah, I sent it to you.
Oh, okay. All right.
I was trying to do something for Mr-Magazine on his account, and it said, oops, we had a technical hiccup.
Oh, was that giving that refund to that guy?
Something or other.
Yeah.
So we had a technical hiccup.
The guy wanted a refund, and he didn't believe me. I think we got a negative out of it, too.
It made me laugh, though. I checked, just in case anybody was wondering, the world record for hiccups, Charles Osborne, 68 years. So eBay has a little while to go on their technical hiccup.
God, I mean, most probably would commit suicide. Like, seriously. Like,
the Simpsons actually did a bit on him, and they had him there. Whoever the guy with the world, he's going kill me, kill me, until I really give myself hiccups.
Gosh. You start doing like bungee jumping, skydiving. I mean, why not? What do you got to lose, right? I mean, you might scare yourself, or do the free for all, like you think you're going to die, scared out of you, right?
68 years of hiccups.
Wow.
Yep. No other reselling show tells you.
Did he die hiccuping? Like, was he 30 and then he died at 98?
No, he ended up stopping it when he was older.
Something else killed him, not the hiccups.
He probably missed it at that point. You look marvelous. So I have 3 auctions up right now with bids.
Okay. Is that
out
good?
Of 80? Yeah, that's very good.
Okay.
Out of 88 items. Today, this afternoon, when I click on my seller hub, 88 items, shows no bids. I said, wait a minute, none of those items ended, and I didn't get any notification of retracted bids or anything. What's going on? So then I clicked on items with bids. Sure enough, the 3 items show up with bids.
Yeah.
But on the front page, it reads 0 bids. So they're having a little glitch over there.
Lee's asked about Rambling Story of the Week, footprints on a dashboard. Why don't you let them know what we have in store for them for the Rambling Story?
Yeah, we need you guys to comment in the chat. We have 3 potentials for it. We have Mr. Magazine dog story from his vacation. We have Mr. Magazine Escalade update. Or we have Mr. Magazine Mercedes. So you can do one of those 3. Just comment, and we'll ask you again a little later. Whatever one more people want will be this week's Rambling Story of the Week in a little while.
Nice, exciting.
That is pretty exciting. Etsy's dashboard was down for a while. So Etsy was getting into the glitch of the week. USPS.com, I couldn't log in no matter what. I kept trying. It was telling me they had errors. They couldn't do this.
When was this?
This morning.
Oh, we had troubles this morning too.
Okay.
You know what? I bet it could be that. Oh, USPS. Okay, not stamps, because you can't have 2 people on stamps at the same time.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you knew that. It's always, and then it just freezes up, and then you're done for like 10, 15 minutes.
Oh no, with USPS. So then I said,
we got 3 dog ones so far.
Okay. So I went and I requested my username, which I knew, and sure enough, it was right. As soon as I requested my username, it let me log in. So something was stuck up on it, and that broke the log jam, and it worked.
Jeez.
Opinion on shipping items sold on eBay, such as stickers and patches with the stamp. I don't do it. and I wouldn't do it just because I don't. There are people out there that do that regularly, and they don't seem to have any problems. I mean, some people are going to say they never got it, but that's the cost of doing business, and it's kind of built into their whole business plan. You know, they're selling thousands of stickers. They know that some people are going to say, "I never got it," even though they did.
Right.
Cost of doing business. I wouldn't personally do it, but that's just me on that. Mr-Magazine had a bit of a problem over on Amazon with the glitch of the week. He had a Kodiak Colossus flashlight, which Amazon removed as it apparently is a pesticide.
Yeah.
It can do everything.
Yeah, it sprays, instead of light, it just sprays out pesticide. Yeah, it's cool.
Sounds kind of dangerous as a kid's toy.
Yeah. Well, what if you
I don't know why we're saying dogs want to be included. There you go.
Oh, wolf, little bow wow.
I'm thinking, okay, unless there's a lot of people want something else.
I'm gonna backtrack. We got Totally Thomas is in the house. He's voting for dog, and Super SMP's in the house as well. How's it going, everyone?
Unless there's a groundswell, we'll be going with the dog. Remember a couple of weeks ago I mentioned when you're listing magazines with Brad Pitt or Angelina Jolie, your item specific is signed to buy?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Kirsten Dunst is another one that if you list a magazine with Kirsten Dunst on it, it automatically tells you, hey, we think you should say it's signed by her. So again, be very, very careful if you're listing modern magazines, because if you just click on select all, you're getting yourself in trouble.
It's a violation no matter what.
Well, the guy buys it and he goes, it's not really signed.
Yeah, and then if you do what they want you to do and say it's signed, that's a violation because it's not signed. So you can't win.
So that hussy Kirsten Dunst. Then Mr-Magazine, I was over there, site changes. I was over there and I clicked on something or other because apparently they have a new eBay messages available.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, what a nightmare. I immediately clicked back to get into the classic view. I did not see on the new messages even where there was a search bar, because the reason why I did it was you had somebody or other and I wanted to search on them in messages. Mm-hmm. And then I just backtracked out of there in a hurry. Hopefully they make it apparent where the search bar is.
Yeah.
And I know Auction Professor had a video up today talking about, and definitely do check him out if you haven't already, talking about problems going on with buying on the phone, that you got to click through to be able to see the item condition. It doesn't just pop up on the phone, and you got to go through steps. And he's made a couple of sales where the people were unhappy with the condition because they did not click through and they thought it was in better condition than it was. So again, you never know how the person is buying from you. So it's definitely something to be cognizant of. There you go. That, and then the last site change, Instagram. Actually, I was over on Instagram and they're offering Meta Verified. And I go, oh, what's this about? And then I looked and it's $14.95 a month, so I can get a blue check. And I said, it's not that important to me.
Yeah, well, what do you get from it? The blue check,
You're Meta Verified
for $14.95 a month.
You're Meta Verified.
All right.
I decided not to do it.
All right. Okay.
Apparently, it's a big thing with the kids today. I don't know. I said I'm not paying $15 a month for that. We're going to head on into item of the week, and this is what we picked up at the one sale. Doesn't look like very much. Fairy tale book.
Very cool.
And
very cool.
$5 on it, and I just said, oh, okay, I'm sure it's worth it. I'm sure it's a nice book. And then the reason why I picked it up is because I clicked inside of it and try to do this without hurting the binding. Little Black Sambo story inside of it.
Cool.
Now, in the old days, because this was, I didn't really check the date on it, but this kind of book is turn of the century, late 1800s, early 1900s. You'll see a lot of different books out there. This actually has Little Black Sambo in it, so you can't list it as such on eBay because they do not allow that.
Can you list and just not say it's in there?
You could, but not show the picture. The problem with that is they would have done so many different versions of books like this that nobody would know that it was in there without me saying it was in there.
Right.
and thus I wouldn't be able to make the sale. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to save this up and put it over at a Whatnot auction or a Facebook auction at some point, because those venues do allow that. But again, turn to the Century book over here with little black Sambo. So always look inside. You never know what might be hidden inside the pages.
Gotcha.
So
cool.
Neat little book there.
Yeah.
Not bad for $5. eBay is still in beta. They're still hiccuping.
Exactly.
Still hiccuping. Gonna head on in, and we got a couple of subscribers who reached out to me with some insulting offers of the week.
Nice.
Subscriber had a $200 photo up. Somebody reached out to him, made him a $10 offer, and started denigrating the item, telling him why it wasn't worth any more than $10.
How nice of them.
It was very, very nice.
Yeah. Shame you into selling it.
They got man-hammered.
Good.
I had a Cafe Zanzibar souvenir photo folder. Now, if you don't know, back in the 40s and 50s, and even back into the 30s, you would go out to the restaurant and they would take your picture. And then they would offer it to you to sell it to you as a remembrance of your night out for $1. And you would get a nice folder with the name of the restaurant or cafe or whatever on the outside with your picture inside. And they would keep it on file, and you could order more copies if you wanted to do so. Do pick them up if you see them out there. They generally go for $20 to $30 just for pretty much any. Mm-hmm. They can go a lot higher if it's interesting subject matter on the photo. Go a lot higher if it's some kind of a rare club, a jazz club, that kind of deal. And sometimes you find them autographed as well by, you happen to be out at the club. Yeah. It's the only thing you had. The performer walked around touching the tables. You got them to sign something. So I found a few of those signed as well. So, I always buy them when I see them out there. You usually can pay $1 or so for them. I was asking $28 on Cafe Zanzibar, giving it away. Guy offers $15. I counter at $22. A couple of weeks later, he offers $15.
At least he's not going backwards.
I countered at $23.
Yeah, I mean, he's wasting your time at this point.
This week, he offered me $15.
Oh, wow. Good for him. How many has he got left? How many offers?
2 more. I countered at $24. We should be up to 27 anytime soon.
Super See the Lights is in the house. Good evening as well.
Mr-Magazine had a Sophisticate's beauty guide, $56. A gentleman offered $15 on it. It had Victoria Principal on the cover. Hubba.
She was, that's why I watched Dallas when I was young.
Lenny and Squeaky.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Well, not that one gentleman. I want to see how many more times he offers me $15. Mr. Magazine had a sealed Deadpool figure at $50. They offered him $15.
They keep coming back as well. I don't have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
That's what I hear. Subscriber Jeff on here messaged me today. He had a bowling game, Keeney's King Fun Bowling Arcade Game Machine. Now the top from
That's
it.
a mouthful.
It is a mouthful. The top with great graphics on it. Not the whole machine, just the top, but it's beautiful glass and all that stuff. Yeah. He was asking $700 on it, or best offer. On, I believe, Facebook Marketplace, I believe he said, something like that. A gentleman came back and told him, well, it's only worth $100. I'll give you $100 for it.
I mean, you have to believe him. Why would he lie?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, that's true. Lying is a sin.
Yeah, that's pretty right.
Jeff did a little research and found out that the gentleman, guess what he sells? Bowling magazines or bowling items. Yeah. He got $3,300 out of a different bowling game that's somewhat common game. So the guy was definitely trying to talk him down. So
that's crazy.
Jeff turned him down.
And that's just super insulting.
Mr. Magazine at a WWE belt, $121. Got offered $53.
They keep coming back at $50.
Do they?
Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that.
Why don't you give them an opportunity to win it from you? Isn't that how you get the WWE belts?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You can come by and wrestle
my
for
house.
it.
Yeah.
Come in the octagon. Mr. Magazine at a PSA 3 Joe Namath rookie.
Oh,
nice card.
Big card, yeah.
$2,700 card. $800 offer. Ouch.
I always look and see, just to make sure, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'll look for comps. And usually, because I'm not a card guy, so I usually sell them cheaper. But my 2,700 is the cheapest they sell for.
Anyway.
Yeah. So other ones sell for 27 all day long, or 3,000 or 35. I'm asking the lowest that they sell for, and they're still because for 2,500 I'd still sell, and that's lower than the lowest. And they just have to insult. Well,
You had a $30 Jim Beam decanter. You got offered $7. And then you had a $13 Inside Sports Magazine. They offered you $1. That's tough.
Yeah, that is tough.
That is, I would pay $1 for that at a flea market.
Yeah.
And then I've got to make money off of that.
Yeah.
Crazy. Oh, guess what? Guess what happened to me?
What happened to you?
I got a neutral feedback. Of course, somebody with 9 positives. I sold them and I know you've seen them out there before. They're from the 1970s superhero pens.
Oh, yeah, those are cool.
There's Superman, there's Spider-Man, there's Batman, there's Hulk.
Yeah, let me guess. The ink was dry.
No, I did not say that. Very beat up pen and worn out. One of the worst decisions I made on eBay.
Wow.
Spend too much on one single pen that was in bad shape and cheaply made, but still have it on display with the rest of my Superman stuff. I took a $6 offer. $6 for a pen from 1970 something with the superhero on it. And it was as pictured. I believe I commented back. I did answer back. And I said, I took a very low offer to help him with this collection. No good deed goes unpunished. So I do have a neutral on that pen.
Speaking of Superman, Super Stevens in the house.
Oh, nice segue.
Awesome, Anik. And Eric, Bill Murray's Hair and Kingpin. That was a classic movie, yes. Legendary. I was just talking about that to my kid because he's a Ghostbusters fan. I go, you got to start watching these other shows. We watch Stripes, Cool.
What,
Just got the link to the bowling arcade top. We'll have to take a look at that.
Oh, there we go. Thank you, Jeff. So Mr. Magazine had a problem, and I want to follow up on it. Mm-hmm. What happened with, we mentioned last week that Mr. Magazine had the problem with a customer that bought, and I'm making up because I don't remember anymore, and I don't have time to rewatch the show right now, 16 magazines. Yep. 2 of them he had problems with.
Yep.
Wanted 50% refund. We gave him the 50%. Actually, we gave him like 53%.
Well, I offered the 50% on each of those. He thought I was offering 50% on the whole order. And that's when he started saying there's more damage than just the 2 after the fact, which he gave me no proof of anything else. That was the problem.
So he ended up leaving negatives, but the big thing was he had said, basically, handle this and give me my refund or I'll leave you bad feedback. It was more or less what he said, which is feedback extortion.
Yeah.
And as soon as he did that, I reached out to Mr. Magazine and I said, stay nice, continue to offer that 50% refund or full refund on return of everything, whatever.
Yeah.
And he had his manager, Mr. Magazine had his manager call eBay. And here's the crazy part. They removed half of the feedbacks, which was insane because it's not like he said, I'm going to leave you negative on this one, and this one. He was going to leave it on all of them.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening?
Well, so my argument was the 2 that he had an issue with, we gave him his money back. So he really he should give no negatives at all.
Right. Well, really. Plus, but he did leave extortion, he had said. So what happened?
We called eBay back and they said for some reason you can only take away 7 negatives a day.
Oh,
so they took the rest the next day. But I'm wondering if we never called,
they would have stayed.
It would have stayed, yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, they were very nice. They took care of it, no problem.
Okay, yeah.
They referred to the previous person that took the call and took the negatives away, and everything was documented, so good to go.
Okay, yep. So as soon as your buyer starts threatening you with negative feedback, don't concern yourself. Stay very, very professional.
Oh, actually, they said before you call them next time, somewhere in the seller hub, there's a report a buyer.
Oh, okay.
So once you put that in a system, then it's there. You got your proof there. Then call after the fact.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Very good. Very good.
I do listen sometimes.
Well, don't make that a thing to kind of ruin the show if you listen.
Oh, jeez.
Boom shakalaka boom shakalaka boom.
Yeah. You love saying that.
Baba booey. Baba booey.
You love saying that.
Bookman.
You love saying that. I don't know.
And a baba
the
booey.
Bees have it. The bees have it.
So I got an interesting email this morning from a customer. I have up for sale advertising fan H.W. Hare and Sons Cole, Brantsville, Pennsylvania, showing The Last Supper. So it's one of those advertising fans from the 1920s.
Okay.
Gentleman emailed me. Where did you get this? It's my grandma's, and I know my aunt took them. I want it.
What? That's the stuff I get. That's crazy. Wow. So it's the only one in the world.
it was the world's worst advertising scheme ever. They literally gave one away to his aunt. That was the only person who ever got it.
What do you even say to that? How much were you asking?
$30, $25.
I was gonna say for $10, I would say it's not, but I'll give it to you for nothing just because of the funny story.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
I
did that with a Lamborghini one time. It was a 1983
just give it away?
Countach. I said my dad had one when I was 6 years old. That's the one I wanted back.
That must be it.
What's the VIN number? Yeah, that's the right VIN
must
number.
Be it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call people and go, "Do you have $100 bill? That's mine."
Exactly.
It's got Franklin on it.
Jeez, that's awesome. Maybe you tried it before and it worked.
I just simply said I picked it up at an antique sale, and I was certain there was more than one of them out in the world. I'm pretty sure his aunt didn't take it and then sell it to me. All kinds.
That's good stuff.
Then Mr. Magazine had a customer reaching out to him about a slot car.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Mr. Magazine. Looks like your employee, so he apparently doesn't believe your excuse, still wants to sell this toy as something that it is not. It is a Matchbox type car. It is not a slot car. What you're doing is called false advertising. Take care of it. So I did change it, and then we did.
Yeah, it's the cigar box, which they're made by the same companies, and they look almost identical. But we showed the bottom of it. Clearly, it's not a slot car. I don't even know if it's in the slot car category. I said basically we've been on eBay 25 years. We don't get this far with selling false advertising. So,
you know what I should do, John? Actually, I should raise the price and then put Bob's grandma's fan on it. Really rub it in.
Yeah. Oh,
he was Hero of the Stupid. I went to DabbleCon. He still is. Mr. Magazine actually had something positive happen through Amazon. He had up an August 2006 FHM magazine. Amazon actually reached out to Mr. Magazine to tell him that apparently a customer had called with an issue about that, an issue about the issue. See what I did there?
Yeah.
And customer wants a refund for the shipping and handling fee for this item, but I already educate customer that it will have shipping and handling because he does not have Prime on his account. So that actually is good to know out there if you do sell on Amazon. If they do call up, the customer service will stand behind you on that there.
Very good. It's about time.
And then one other customer issue over here. Mr. Magazine had a negative from somebody or other over on eBay for, I believe, a Frankenstein item.
Yeah.
And the person said a few things that would fall into the libelous category. Big scam artist, something or other like that. Whatever. Some things like that cross the line. And on Amazon, if somebody says things like that, you can click a button and Amazon will review the feedback and may remove it. Well, on eBay, there's also a request feedback review. So we clicked on that. They send it to the buyer. Well, of course, the buyer's not going to change it. The buyer's so the buyer declined the feedback request.
Guess we should try it again, see what happens this time.
Just keep bothering.
Yeah, if they do the right thing. Jeez.
But yeah, of course, the buyer's not gonna change that. Kind of crazy on that. A few interesting other things. Post office is raising its rates come July. Hold on to your wallet.
Is this like 2 or 3 times a year they do
Twice a year now they're doing it, which the theory was that once they rolled back the stuff with the amount they had to be putting in, I think it was either the pension or the healthcare. There was something or other like that. That was the reason.
You were going to say regional boxes.
Exactly. There was some reason or other why they weren't profitable, and that got taken care of. And they're still raising their prices twice a year. So kind of crazy, getting kind of tough. I've definitely.
Why don't they just raise it 6 times, get out of debt, and say we're done raising prices, right?
Or lower it and get people to use more volume. And but a whole other story. So I put up a short. Do you know who Big Daddy Roth is? You rat fink.
Oh, it's a drag racer.
Yeah, artist and all that kind of stuff. I put up a short. Definitely do check them out if you haven't already about him. It got flagged by YouTube that it may not be suitable for advertising. So I had to request them to review. So anytime you get into any of that counterculture kind of stuff, the Robert Crumb, because that was another one that they flagged. The bots definitely do flag a lot of things. So
this is eBay?
No, this was YouTube.
Oh, yeah. All right. Okay.
Yep.
Jeez.
then I did get a call from a buddy of mine. There's a big ephemera auction that I used to go to twice a year. It was about 3 hours away, and it was always a good sale. And went over there and, picked up stuff all the time. Well, having another sale, but this time it's online only. So a buddy of mine reached out to me and said, hey, do you know that the sale's ending tomorrow? I said, oh, no, I'll go take a look at it. So I logged on and I said, oh, there's some okay stuff here. Stuff that if I were sitting there live, I'm sure that I would buy. Sure. It would be in my head. I'd be like, I'd go $20 on it, and I don't really want that lot. But then you end up buying a lot of lots you don't want because you're like, I know that's a good deal. It's a whole different world bidding online. So I'm kind of looking through and I said, yeah, okay, there's a couple of lots that I might want to bid on. So I signed up for the auction. $17. Well, first it's 13% buyer's premium.
Okay.
You can pick it up the next day only. So 3 hours away and I got a day job. That's not going to work. Mm-hmm. Or I can pay to have the stuff shipped.
Okay.
Actual shipping plus $5.55. $17 per box handling fee.
Wow, that's pretty steep.
So
you better buy the stuff for 10 cents on the dollar.
That's what I was saying. So I find a good lot. Oh, I paid $20 for the lot, and then I got another $40 into the overhead to get the thing to me, or $35 to get it to me.
Yeah,
so,
it's got to be a steal. And all your bids have to be considering that, factoring that in.
Right, because what happens if you bid on a bunch of stuff and then you only end up winning one item, and it was a lot you win for $10 that you just kind of were bidding on because you were winning other stuff. Now all of a sudden you're spending $40 to get this.
No, if you bought 5 items, is it shipped 5 packages and 5 for each one?
They said they would try to package things together, but it get really, really expensive.
Well,
really,
it's out
really
of your
fast.
control. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Wow.
And did you see the sad story about the CEO of eBay?
No.
He only made $17 million last year.
That is sad. Holy cow.
I feel for him.
What did he make the year before?
That I didn't look up. They were saying he got a pay cut down to $17 million. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Guess so. Maybe we bring him back eBay bucks just so he can use them, so he can save a few bucks here or there.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And one last thing before we get into tonight's main topic. Did you see the story about the gentleman that bought the chair?
Which chair is this?
So this gentleman, Miller, I don't remember his first name, found a grand wing-backed chair. He lives out in Beverly Hills area, and he was on Facebook Marketplace. Mm-hmm. And apparently somebody of some means had passed away, and the person was there to get rid of their stuff. Yeah. And so they were going to do a yard sale. And they were told, this is Beverly Hills. You can't do a yard sale. For some reason, they don't want yard sales all over Beverly Hills. So then they put up on Facebook Marketplace to get rid of stuff. And they had this wingback chair, and the guy's like, hey, I'm interested. Yeah. Okay, come on over. Of course, Los Angeles traffic. He finally gets over there. The person goes, look, I know this chair is really a good chair. It's just got to get out of here. Give me $50 for it. Okay, great. Gave him $50 for it. Consigned it to Sotheby's. It's expected to go for $50,000. Wow. $50,000 deal on Facebook Marketplace for $50. Maybe I got to check that once in a while.
Yeah. Well worth it.
For that it is, yeah.
Jazzy JC's in house. Good evening.
All right. Now we're going to head on into this is everybody's favorite episode every year, our main topic. How much money you can make as a reseller. I've got Mr. Magazine's numbers here. I've got my numbers here. And we're going to get on into it. I'm going to read the numbers, and Mr. Magazine will add a little commentary on his as he sees fit. If you do have any questions, by all means, comment down there. 100% legitimate numbers. Let me get started. Overall sales, Mr. Magazine, last year, and I'm going to round, just letting you know I'm going to round. 2021, 3.1 million. 2022, $2,971,000. So your sales went down essentially $120,000 year on year. Was the difference in sales year on year. Amazon was really where you took the hit. You went from 1.44 to 1.16. So you $290,000, but we know why.
Yeah, I think that was because the year in 21, I was buying all those boxes of cards, and I wasn't making a lot of profit, but I was spending a ton of money. So, if I spent $1,000 a day, we might sell $1,100 a day.
Yep.
There wasn't a lot of money to be made, and then we smartened up, and last year we eliminated that, started buying better stuff, higher profit. So, we'll do better this year with the inventory we bought last year.
Well, and the other thing I'm noticing too is your store sales are down slightly. But I think the reason why your store sales are because, again, the card market was booming.
Yeah.
Back then. So, and you were selling a lot of that stuff through the store as well. So that was down some.
Sure.
Hard to give a eBay year on year because you were with managed payments for only half or so of the year before. So it's not apples to apples on the eBay. And also eBay got rid of the adults as well. So the eBay is down, but it's hard to say exactly how much. It looks like roughly eBay went from about 1.2 to $940,000.
We probably made it up with the adult sites. So
Right.
Kind of a wash
the adult sites made it up. So that was a wash on that as far as that goes. The adult DVD went from 60 to 127. Website did almost $200,000, which is primarily all adult stuff.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much, you've got some money coming in from Laundromat. You got a little bit of money coming in from IMS, which is the barter site and all that. Yeah. But overall, essentially a flat year, we're going to call it, around $3 million again, it was what you ended up top line making, or, total sales. Running through the expenses, we've got, a lot of, Verizon, internet, all that kind of stuff, insurances, insurances go up a little bit every year. Obviously, Amazon fees are quite a bit lower because sales are quite a bit lower.
Yeah.
So nothing jumping out at me as I go down through there. Postage is obviously lower as well because you're selling less stuff. That makes sense overall. Purchases, that's probably the next big thing that everybody wants to know about. 2021, Mr-Magazine spent $1,090,000. We're going to call it $1.1 million just for sake of this. This year, he spent $1,120,000. So essentially, he went up $30,000 more in purchases. So pretty much a standard year as far as purchases go as well for you. Still up quite a bit though, because 2 years ago you only spent $600,000.
Yeah.
Were you snappy dressing?
Yeah, when I was a little more svelte a few years ago, I used to dress up nicer. But hopefully we'll get back to that point at some point in time.
So so the purchases went from it went up $30,000. So that's pretty much about the same. Utilities went up about $9,000. But why don't you real quick tell a quick rambling story about the fun you've had with your utilities?
What fun have I had with my utilities?
They didn't bill you.
Oh, bad fun. Yeah, exactly. So something was going on in Rochester where was it a certain area of Rochester or certain businesses?
The whole area.
But it was more so like certain businesses and the areas I think were worse than others. But anyways, they told me they were estimating my warehouse for 2 years. I never paid much attention to it. The bill was always around the same, $400 in the summer, $800 to $1,000 in the winter. And then they said they were estimating me. I said, well, take a look at it because maybe I have money coming. So they took a look at it. They replaced the meter, said I had all this money coming. Someone said I didn't. Someone said I did. They really didn't know what was going on. So for 6-7 months, they never billed me. And that was towards the end of the year. So my RG&E bills were quite lower than it normally was. And then come January, I got a bill for over $10,000, $12,000. And then they said, well, and then, it did go up. The RG&E bill did double, pretty much electric doubled and gas doubled. So now I'm paying probably $500-600 in the summer. And I was paying $2,000 plus in the winter, but it all averages out now. So
it's gonna be fun on that too. So
I'll make less money this year technically because I'll be paying double for the electric, which could be $50,000 instead of 30, whatever it is.
Now, after you got done talking to your accountant and everything, I made it out of his basement. There you go. What was your bottom line profit that you paid taxes on?
$300,000 roughly.
Yep. Yeah. And it was about the same as the year before, right?
Yep.
So despite sales going down a little bit, it was kind of stay the same year type deal.
Right.
Because you ended up with about the same amount of money, 300,000 at the bottom. Of course, your employee costs went up a little bit because minimum wage keeps going up and everything.
Right, yeah.
So, so that's 300,000 profit or money in his pocket. Of course, he's got to pay taxes on that as well. But 300,000 on 3 million in sales, so about 10% is what you're making. Then you pay all your taxes on that.
10% went to my basement, like antiquarian bookman said. Another 10% went to my snazzy car, which we could do a rambling story next week on that one.
Yep.
Nice Nova. So when you're making money, it's always a win, and you enjoy what you're doing, which I do. So
there you go. All right, now how about one-man band Papergoy? And this I'll get a little deeper into only because I know my numbers a little bit better than I know yours. Overall sales between all venues, between all sources of income, was, we'll call it 150,000 in 2021. It was 130,000 in 2022. So the overall sales went down $20,000 year on year. My profit, money in my pocket, was $50,000 in 2021. It was $25,231. So sales went down 25,000. My profit went down 25,000.
Wow.
Ouch.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say.
So 25 grand, I could be working a minimum wage job and probably doing a little better than I am over here.
I could offer you double minimum wage.
There you go. One of the big reasons why, though, is because the amount of money I spent sourcing stayed pretty much the same. I spent about $32,000 in 2021. I spent $32,000 in 2022. Spent about the same amount of money sourcing. The other thing as well, which is why anytime resellers tell you, I'm sorry about that. I watched that. Anytime sellers tell you their numbers, you gotta take it with a grain of salt. My mileage expense and hotel expense went up because I did Allentown Paper Show. I went to Springfield twice, which is over in Ohio, which is a 6-hour drive. Was at a hotel. Gosh, I probably went to a hotel 10 nights last year, staying over on reselling trips. Whereas the year before, I think I did 1 night. Which again, say you're talking $100 a night for a hotel. Yeah. That's $900 more in expenses right there. Right. You added extra mileage in, you're talking another $1,000 or $2,000 right there in mileage. Well, had I not done that,
right,
instead of being 25, I might be at $29,000 or something other like that. So there is that little bit of, and it's completely legitimate, but there's that little bit of weasel in there as well on that stuff. Now, obviously, I'm going because I'm going to expect to make money in the long run.
All kidding aside with the whatnot, but is that
got the numbers?
Is that part of the reason? Just and not the numbers wise, but listing less on eBay and Amazon and doing whatnot, where you'd be making more on eBay and Amazon and less on whatnot.
No, I don't think so. I really don't think so. But we'll get into those.
You should try it this year. Less not, more eBay.
I'm building whatnot.
Oh,
I'm gonna go completely off the rails.
No.
So sales on eBay were $84,000. That was my eBay sales. The year before it was about 102,000 or 100 something like that. So that went down $18,000 year on year. eBay definitely did. Yep, extra backstock. Yep, and that's one thing too is if my sales stayed where they are, and I said, which I obviously didn't do this year, but I said I'm not going on any buying trips and I'm not buying any new inventory. Well, then all of a sudden that 25,000 would be 57, and it'd be $60,000.
Yeah.
So selling off backstock would put 60 grand in my pocket instead of 25 grand in my pocket, because I wouldn't be buying new stuff on that over there. Etsy, $2,541. So made $2,500 on Etsy last year. But here's an interesting thing out there. My shipping was $680 and my fees were $590. We'll say $1,300 in fees, $2,500 in sales. So I made $1,200 in my pocket off of Etsy last year, not counting cost of goods. But that being said, I'm not really, I don't generally go out and say, I'm going to buy this for Etsy.
Right.
It just happens to be something that I picked up and I say, oh, this will go good on Etsy.
Yeah.
Something in a collection or something other like that. So that was how Etsy is. $105 on Biblio.
Oh, nice.
At Discogs, $9.21. Hey, I told you to give you all the numbers.
Let me guess, you're building that up too.
No, that I'm not building up.
Oh.
$28,000 on Amazon. $3,500 through Facebook auctions.
Wow.
$750 through Cash App, which is purchases through my website.
Oh.
$658 on Shopify, so $1,400 on the website last year.
Oh, that's probably more than me.
And took a bath. I'm sure it cost me more than that to pay for it.
Well, the Mr-Magazine said I don't do much at all on that, so that's pretty good.
And Whatnot, because Mr. Magazine wants to know how profitable Whatnot is. $6,310. Now remember that on Whatnot,
it wasn't a full year, right?
It was not a full year. No, it was about half a year. $6,310 in sales on Whatnot. Now remember, shipping does not come into play other than I pay a fee on the shipping, but shipping does not hit my account or leave my account. Had $1,128.72 in fees. So I made $5,100 on Whatnot last year.
All right, so let's just say 6,000 gross for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So 1,000. So are you on pace for more this year then? Being 4 months, you got 4,000 in or more?
Probably not. Probably not. No. But I also cut out the comic auction. Oh. I'm only doing one auction instead of two auctions.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So those are those numbers. I got some scribbles down below that I can't read. That makes taxes fun. And then the big one, our big cash cow, the channel.
Oh.
I got a 1099 from YouTube. $850 last year.
Ooh, nice.
Adding a little bit of money for Amazon, so about $855 last year. Now we made $850 off the channel last year, split two ways for $425 each. So definitely want to thank everybody out there who watches the channel. Thank everybody who subscribes. Thank everybody who hits the like button. Definitely do appreciate it, because I think the year before we made $400 and something other dollars, $500, something other like that. So it is improving. I know that the other day, a random neighborhood kid looked and said, "Hey, do you know the channel has brought in $1,800 since it started?" And I said, "I do now." So if you have any questions about any of our numbers, by all means, reach out. More than willing to share anything with you. We try to do our channel as open books. What you see is what you get from us. What you see on our sales is what you get. We don't try to hide anything. We just work hard, and you work hard, and it's always good to kind of have a benchmark.
Plugging away.
Keep plugging away. Yeah. But it's also good to have a benchmark. Somebody wants to hire people, they know they can hit your numbers. Somebody wants to work on their own, they know that part-time on their own, you can hit my numbers. It'll be really interesting 2 years from now when we do this show, because I'll have retired, and it'll be interesting to see how much that number increases, if at all. That'll be really, really interesting.
Cool.
Don't spend all that money at once. I will try not to do so. Although my car was in the my wife's car was in the shop today, took it in for oil change and needs 4 new tires. Yeah, $225 a tire. That's gonna be fun. All righty. So if anybody has any other questions, definitely let us know. But looks like the dog story was the one that won for the rambling story of the week.
All right, Saber story. So I have a 10-pound Yorkie named Saber. We're big Yorkie lovers, and we decided to take him to Myrtle Beach with us this time, because we didn't want to burden my mother-in-law and my sister to watch him for 8-9 days, whatever. So he's usually really good in the car too. So I drove the whole way. It's like a 14-hour drive. We split it up like 9 hours one day and 4 hours, 5 hours the next, whatever it was. So, and usually he's on my lap the whole time, or he's on my arm driving, which isn't really safe, but we make it work out. Anyways, we get down there. We rented a villa, so a lot of room, backyard, fenced in, whatever. He would go outside to do his business. And after day 2, we got there Friday. So Sunday and Monday, he started acting weird in the backyard, trying to look like he was trying to go to the bathroom, number 2.
Yeah.
Squatting differently, pushing, nothing was coming out. He was looking frustrated. He wasn't eating much. Then he started throwing up a little bit. And then the next day, Monday, he was more whining and pain as the day went on. My wife's a nurse, and
wait, the dog or your wife?
Both, but
okay.
she was just hungry. But anyways, she was eating and still hungry. He was not eating and was not hungry. So it was like 8:00 at night, 8:30. He goes, you know what? You better take him somewhere. It sucks, but he's in pain. Just to see what's going on. So
that's what you love to do on every vacation, right?
Oh yeah. So I took my son Logan with me, a 14-year-old, and we drove to an emergency place. It was Monday night, 9:00. We get there and it's kind of still like COVID rules. So you have to stay outside. There was 10 vehicles before us waiting.
Oh.
10 on a Monday night for their animals.
Oh my gosh.
So we had to go up to the door, fill out a form, wait in the car. We waited in the car about an hour till they called us in. And then, we told them what was wrong. They said, well, we're going to run off.
Did they make the dog wear a mask?
They did not, no.
Okay.
But, they go, we have to do a blood analysis, urine analysis, this, that, and the other thing. Then they come back and they say, well, it's $1,000.
Oh,
and like,
that's $1,000.
what are you going to do?
Right.
You got to do it. And he's 5 years old. He's got 10 years ahead of him. We love him to death. So then they go, you pay that. Then they go run the tests and tell you if it's good, bad, ugly, what they have to do. So they come back out and they say he has kidney stones.
Oh, ooh.
A bunch in his stomach and a big one lodged in his pee-pee.
Ah.
So he wasn't trying to go number 2. He was trying to go number 1, which looked like the way he was squatting was number 2.
What, you feed this dog salt?
I don't know.
Salt
no, we don't. But we read after the fact that like processed turkey is not good. Anything processed, but we would give him turkey. We think turkey's fine, but no, that's bad for kidney stones. So we're eliminating that. But moving on, that we will never do that again.
Wow.
Nevertheless, they had to perform surgery on him, which ended up being close to $4,000 total. And they said he's got to stay overnight. So by the time we got done, it was 1 a.m. So it was like 4 hours we were there. Then they kept him. You're paying for that, obviously. And then they said if you don't get him by like 7:30 in the morning, you have to pay extra money because they're closed till 8:00 when they open again. So because during the day, there's the vets are open. So I couldn't sleep at all. And they said they were going to call me after the surgery. They never called. So now I'm in, I hardly slept. My wife hardly slept. It was like 6 a.m. I go, you know what? Let's just go there, see what's going on. So we go there. It was probably around 6:45 or so. They let us in, and the lady goes, oh, you're here for Sabre? And she did not look happy. She was, oh, the doctor will want to see you in his office to discuss this.
Oh.
So we're thinking like they didn't call. So we get in the room, and I'm really not in the mood for something like this to be bad. So I said, "Is something?" My wife said, "Yelled." I go, "Is something wrong with my dog?" She goes, "No, he's okay. He's fine. He's just woke up. The doctor will be right with you." So that was it. Doubled the price of our trip, but our dog's recuperating. He's got to get the stitches out.
What do they call you in for?
Just to tell us that he's good. He's good to go. And then like the medicine he's got to take and how to give it to him, and he's not big on the pills, so now I got to mix it with peanut butter and jam it down his throat.
He'll probably take it a lot quicker if you wrap some processed turkey around it.
Yeah, it would be great. Well, scary now. I think they had hit a nerve because the stitches were right near his penis, and he's peeing everywhere now. So he has no control over it. So I don't know if that's going to go away when he get the stitches out. Maybe it'll relieve something going on down there because it is staples. But
wow.
Yeah, it's trials and tribulations. I mean, I could write a book for the crazy stuff that's going on every week of my life. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But another rambling story, and ends up on a positive note. A little costly, but we do a lot for our pets if we love them. So there you have it.
All right, everybody. Thank you for coming by. Hit the like button if you can. Look forward to next year's episode where we again tell you our numbers. I will tell you they're going, at this point, they're dismal, but we're early in the year. We're still early in the year. Things could always pick on up. 48 weeks, 2 days till I retire, but who's counting? Not you.
No.
And before I forget, Whatnot on Saturday. Going to be a lot of fun. Mr-Magazine may stop by. It's the Be Happy book sale, and I got the 9 p.m. slot Saturday night. Ooh. I am going to be a train wreck Saturday night.
I might come over with Greek power or something, a little hammered or something. That would be fun.
Oh, yeah. 9 o'clock at night. It's going to be a lot of fun. And the beauty is Sunday morning, the flea market starts, and it's the bottle show that I'll be going to. So I'm going to be out. You see me out and about, and I'm cranky Sunday morning. Nothing personal if I growl at you. I just have kidney stones.
Yeah,
No, too much processed turkey. I hear that happens.
Yeah.
No, but should be a lot of fun. So stop on by Whatnot. Check out Papergoy. If you're into books or if you just want to see me go completely off the rails, 9 o'clock on Eastern on Saturday. Books only, all catalog, $3 starts. And the regular Whatnot will be with some great print ads.
Yeah.
We'll be on Tuesday at 4 o'clock Eastern. So stop on by for that as well.
Yeah.
Midnight Drinking Whatnot Hour. There you go.
Absolutely.
So I want to thank everybody for coming on by, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.